Hi there, I'm James Patton, and I want to show you the first few minutes of my latest game. It's called Silicon Dreams. It's a cyberpunk conversation sim where you interrogate broken androids. It's kind of a mix between Blade Runner and Papers, Please. So, without further ado, let's begin. So this is your workstation. There's a bunch of machines and devices here, but for now, we're just going to look at the tablet. This is where you will be doing most of your investigating. So the first thing you see is this report. It's a series of questions about the android that we're about to investigate. It's your job to interview these broken androids and understand what's wrong with them, understand what specific problems they have. So every question here pertains to a different way that the android could be broken, except the last one, that's what you do with them afterwards. So it's your job to interrogate the android, get the information, fill out this report, and then send it out to the company. So we're going to focus on this one for this demo. Is the subject capable of simultaneous sadness and joy? Can they be happy and sad at the same time? So the answer here is either yes or no. So for that, we will need to figure out if we can make them sad, and if we can make them happy, and if they can be sad and happy at the same time. That's kind of a bittersweet feeling, I guess. So let's start the interrogation. You'll see that the TV screen is switched on and we can now see the android, our subject. They're restrained to the table here. They don't look very happy. We can choose our greeting. This is how you want to start the interrogation. So you could start it aggressively, you could start it in a very formal or a very friendly way, and that would make them feel differently towards you. So let's start with, this is a somewhat neutral kind of question. You are Unit SM032, property of Miss Prue Lebray, is this correct? That is correct, but why am I here? Your user has indicated several concerning behaviors. It is my job to determine the cause. And you'll see this machine kind of lit up, and there are these three little bits of data bubbling here. This tells us how he's feeling currently. So the fact that we chose this option and that we chose this greeting has led to this emotional state. I'll talk about that a bit more in a second. So this is the kind of summary of everything that we currently know about the character. So his owner, as we know, is Prue Lebray. This is his serial number. There's a bunch of stuff here about his sort of history. Let's start by asking about his owner, Ms. Prue Lebray. What can you tell me about her? So first of all, we asked about her owner. And again, going back to this emotion measuring machine, joy went up a lot, and disgust went up a little bit. That's interesting. So the way that we're thinking about this is this machine is a little bit like a lie detector, or like the Blade Runner kind of Are You an Android machine from the movie. But it measures not just whether you're telling the truth or not, but actually what emotion you're feeling. So these androids are very complicated machines, so they also simulate emotion, so it's also possible to measure what emotions they're feeling. And this means that we can see that this question about Ms. Lebray has made him feel joy. So he associates joy with his user. Okay, he feels happy when he talks about her. But he also feels a little bit of disgust, so maybe he's got some mixed feelings about her. So anyway, she's very busy. Her work demands a lot of her time, so she demands a lot from me. She purchased me as an upgrade from her last android, hoping I could keep up with her. I'm honored to be able to support such an important woman. Okay, so we learned a few things. We learned some new information, that he was purchased as an upgrade from Ms. Lebray's previous model. We could ask about that, but remember, I'm interested right now in answering this question, sadness and joy. Now, we could keep clicking around in this biographical summary thingy until we found some stuff that makes him feel sad and some stuff that makes him feel joy. But we have kind of a shortcut. We have, it's a little bit like a hint system. The company has provided us with a series of psychological questions that should tell us what questions we should ask if we want to, for example, make him feel joy. It's a bit like a hint system. So let's start by asking about joy. What makes him happy? take a deep breath. Imagine you're in a safe, happy place. Where is that? So I'm hoping this will tell us what question we should ask to make him feel joy. I don't have to imagine that. It's any time I'm at home. And, well, there was this other thing. The first time I saw a movie. This android watches movies. That's a bit strange because he's meant to be just like a device for cleaning and supporting his user, but okay. Ms. Lebre went to sleep and forgot to turn off the TV. I got to watch the whole thing while doing chores. It was so much fun. So, it's, again, a bit weird that he watches films. He's not meant to be doing that, but okay, it's fine. Our main goal is to make him feel some more joy, so that we can see if he can also feel sadness later. So let's just ask him about the movie he watches. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't tell you that. I know I'm not supposed to talk about it. Okay. And a little tooltip pops up here that says that he was holding back, and we might get a different answer if we could encourage more trust. So trust is another emotion that the subjects feel, but it's not measured on the main wheel here. In the main machine, it's a hidden value. So we need to make him trust us more if he's going to talk about these films and feel happier. So a good way to make subjects feel more trust is they're currently handcuffed, so they're not very friendly. It's such a judgmental thing to say. So we can just take off his handcuffs with this switch here, and he feels like he trusts us a bit more. Thank you, that's a lot more comfortable. So maybe now he will talk about these films. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this, but my favourite is the first one I ever saw. The Great Escape with Steve McQueen. It's really odd, but he's so cool. Did you know we have the same initials? Oh, because he's SM something, yeah. I love this scene where he's escaping. He's so good under pressure. Okay, so we don't really care about that, or like maybe some players do. I love to hear about the subject's inner life, but what we're mainly focused on is this. Talking about this has made him really happy. He's now like getting close to maximum joy here. So that's the first half of the question answered. He can feel joy. Can he also feel sadness? Let's ask him about what makes him sad. Ms. Lebre told me not to be stupid about it, but I was in the garden a few months ago and I heard a noise. There was this little bird struggling. It had hurt itself. Okay, so he found a bird, made him sad. That means his empathy module has developed a fault. But okay, how did it feel trying to save that bird? It had blood on its head, its feathers were matted, its head was at a strange angle and it kept looking at me. It was a huge shock seeing that. Imagine what it might say. I'm broken. Help me. Okay, so he was surprised, like shocked by the bird, but he was also made sad by it because he watched it die, and that's pretty sad. So he's now feeling, undeniably, sadness and joy. So we can now answer this question. Can he feel sadness and joy at the same time? Yes, he can. So that's it for this playthrough, but this question was a fairly straightforward one. There are other ones that might not be so clear-cut. For example, let's say that you really like this character, you've learned about his life and his dreams and stuff, and even though he's just an android, so you know he's just a device, but you kind of get to like him anyway. And you get to this question: what emotion does the subject most associate with its user? So there's a bunch of emotions here, and if you discover that he really likes his user and they get on really well, you can answer joy, no problem. But what if you find out that he associates anger with his user more than anything? That is the kind of question that might make the company decide to trash him, to decommission him. So you might think to yourself, okay, technically I know that he associates anger with his user, but I'm just going to say that he really likes her and she just makes him happy, because that way the company is not going to trash him. Well, that's it for this little preview. Hope you enjoyed it. The game is available in demo form, so you could be playing this right now. It's on itch.io. The name of the game is Silicon Dreams. So just search on itch, or I'll put the link in the description, in fact. Right now, the game's also on Kickstarter, so if you like what you see, please go back. It's on Kickstarter until May 7th.